Hello, everyone. We're going to give everyone a minute or two to get loaded. Amy, for some reason, we see your screen. At least I do.
Mm, I just see us.
That's, oh, delay, technical
Do you see
difficulties.
my screen still?
I do when you do that, when you talk. Maybe it was just
Okay. You
that.
might need to click the thing that says hide non-video participants. There's like a three, I think it's the three little dots in the right corner of your. Anyway,
Negative
it's not
ghost.
recording that way. I just see your three beautiful faces.
All right, good deal. Thank you.
And Jody, you're like, let's get loaded. I didn't know what that meant. I mean, Christmas is coming up quick, but there's lots of
I would
partying going
prefer
on.
to be getting loaded, but I'm actually waiting for the participants to get into into the show.
Yeah, it's not just the sip for no reason, right?
Yeah, yeah. You
Mhm.
never know what might be in this mug. It's really just hot water with lemon. I ran outside and threw some hay to the horses, which Mimi Paxson, our head of partnerships at TMC, I said the other day I was going to run and throw hay to the horses, and she's like, "So you just like go up to the fence and are like, hey."
Love it. Funny.
Like wrong spelling of hay.
Mhm.
I love that.
All right, let's get started. I want to welcome everyone to the grand finale, the last sip of 2026. It's so hard to believe. But the sip is a space where conversation sparks connection, collaboration inspires innovation, and industry leaders gather to tackle today's biggest challenges. Think of it as catching up over coffee or bourbon or whatever might be in your cup this holiday season, only with insights that move our industry forward. At the Mortgage Collaborative, if you don't know, we're a little bit passionate about empowering our members to thrive. And today's show features real world strategies, case studies, and the kind of perspective that only comes from working together. So, a special thank you to our audience for joining us. And today's episode is proudly sponsored by Down Payment Resource, the nation's only down payment assistance database, housing over, has it grown above 2,600 since we last met?
We
Over
have it's one.
2,600 down payment assistance programs. And here's why it matters. Down payment isn't just a nice to have, it's a game changer for affordability and access to home ownership and navigating thousands of programs. Oh, that's where DPR comes in. Representing DPR today is Brad Cardwell, VP of Sales and Business Development. And joining Brad is Nikki Dickens, SVP of Training and Product Development at Alcova Mortgage, a longtime TMC member who's going to share the boots on the ground perspective of what it's like to actually implement and leverage DPR's platform. Brad and Nikki, thank you so much for joining us for the last episode of the year.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us. Yes, thank you.
It is a very exciting time of year, not just for all the children at heart leading into the holidays, but for all of our companies because we've talked and we all have a lot going on and we're really excited to hit the ground running in 2026. But Brad, let's start with you. For those tuning in who might not be familiar with DPR, although I think that that number is decreasing, give
Good.
us your elevator pitch. What's the mission behind the company? What solutions do you offer? And what pain points are you solving for lenders?
Appreciate that. Yeah, I think we're getting a little more name recognition out there, and some people know or think they have a good idea about it. But for anyone who hasn't, real quickly, our mission is really just to make home ownership more accessible by connecting people to down payment assistance. It's really just that simple. So many people just don't realize that there's thousands of programs, as you mentioned. Yes, it's like I think it's 2660 or whatever. I mean, just every month we go up and find new programs. And I saw an email this morning. We found three with the help of a lender partner. Said, "Hey, you guys don't have these," and we're like, "We've never heard of them." And they were newer, which is great. So it just makes affordability that much more within reach within that specific group that would be tied to those types of programs. But we help lenders operationalize in their business. We integrate directly into their workflows. We do that through LOS tools. We help loan officers with their portal tools to match, like Match.com, for a consumer and a DPA program, and and we help the consumers find those loan officers and programs. Couple of problems we're trying to solve. One is buyers. Most buyers and even loan officers just don't understand or know that programs exist. If they do, they only know of a couple when there's thousands. And then for lenders, it's just difficult to bring DPA into their workflow without adding friction, or bring more in without adding friction. And that's really the key to a lot of what we're going to talk about today. We take that complexity off the plate, and we help our lenders and our all of our buyers, but very importantly, first time and underserved buyers.
Awesome. And Nikki, tell us a bit about your background, your role with Alcova, and give us a snapshot of who Alcova is in today's lending landscape.
Absolutely. So, gosh, it makes me feel so old. I've been in the mortgage lending space since 1991. It was my college job doing loan setups. Yes, I typed verifications on the typewriter and did all those fun things. Um, and then, as my career started to kind of develop, I got interested in different little aspects and facets of the mortgage industry. So I've done several different kinds of things within the industry as a whole. I landed in the training space, like most people do. It's kind of just through fruition that I was that person that everybody always said, "Hey, can you help this person?" Or could you, train this person, just like on a kind of small level. So I've been in the training space for about 10 years now in the mortgage industry. I really love it. I also have a couple of different roles as well. So right now at Alcova, I'm the leader of our training team, but I also do project management, and I also do loan product development. And that is kind of how Brad and I ended up, coming together. He'll tell you a little bit more about that in a few minutes. So, Alcova as a whole, so our vision at Alcova is to become the most customer focused mortgage industry in the nation. And so our customers are really about our borrowers, but they're also about our internal associates as well. So we really have a passion for serving both the customer and our associates. Strategically focused, I think we really focus on meeting affordability and diversity needs for our customers through our loan product offerings. So again, DPR really played a huge part in that for us. We're also a huge technology company. We love technology here. So again, we really try to make things easier for our borrowers through technology. And then again, our associates through technology with efficiencies, cost savings, and then also to help us kind of prevent mistakes as we're producing loans as they go through the process. And then I think last but not least, we're incredibly community focused. We really do pay attention to our communities. We're active participants in our communities, if it's through like programs, monetary giving. And again, our loan programs are very focused on our communities as well, because there is so much diversity and affordability issues in the mortgage market right now. We do really focus and pay attention to those kind of things here.
So let me unpack that for everyone. You started in the industry when you were 3 years old.
I
You 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 hold three full-time positions at Alcova, and you are uniquely positioned to really change the landscape of Alcova through your training, your project management, and also your product management. That's quite wight something. We're going to give you a break over the holidays so that you can recharge your batteries for 2026. Bobby, if you're listening, I know that you're a tech forward company. I've met Bobby and Kelly through a technology platform before, so know that you're a very tech-driven company. But would y'all give Nikki some time off over the holidays? Uh, Many of you know that I'm a self-proclaimed recovering lender, and mortgage lending is in my DNA, but I definitely don't miss the chaos of juggling dozens of down payment programs and the tug of war that Brad referred to as friction between operations, sales, and capital markets every time we tried to roll out something new. So, Brad, let's get into the nuts and bolts. What exactly does DPR do to help lenders navigate the really the landscape of down payment assistance?
Yeah, I appreciate that. There's two big pieces, and this is, we have our talk tracks and what we do, but as I'm been getting into the company more and digging in with lenders more, I'm uncovering some other pieces and some of the details that really, really matter in these areas. But two big ones, efficiency and accuracy. You both just kind of spoke to those, and then revenue and margin. So those are pieces that push, pull, and cause friction, especially with down payment products. So trying to keep up with maintenance, assist with the assistance programs, dealing with the challenges around cost to cures, the annual maintenance of these programs. So many lenders just use an Excel spreadsheet. They're trying to keep track of the programs. Maybe they have something really cool in their intranet and it's really flashy and nice and they keep it up to date. But new program comes in, someone has to enter all the information, keep it up to date, remind their sales teams or their operations partners where to access that info. Is it up to date? Was that the most recent one? Oh, I printed it out. It's not live. It's not a live document. What a pain in the neck. So and in addition, we keeping those programs up to date, we have an entire team of product folks, experts, and they have relationships with these down payment providers, and they are keeping all of that information up to date so that Nikki and others don't have to. So this gives confidence to the lender, saves them time. It keeps one source of truth across the entire ecosystem of our solution that we provide for lenders, and it gives everyone really easy access. The other challenge, so that's the operations efficiency product side, helping operations, cap markets, product folks, secondary, and then revenue is always a challenge. And so many lenders will say, well, we can't make money on DPA, or we just don't want to do bond products or whatever. And that can be true, a truth for them in historically how they have worked with down payment assistance, but our platform provides so many other products that may not cut into margins. They may allow for SRP. We can help produce lead generation for the loan officers. So we bring to light a lot of lesser known programs to give lenders a better product balance, which is incredibly beneficial to them and obviously consumers. So the key is unlocking all these potential programs so that we let everyone know what's out there on the lender side, the consumer side, and even on the realtor side.
Yeah, so we see there's a tremendous amount of return on investment, not just on the efficiencies that are saved by streamlining the process and helping keep things up to date, but there's also a return on investment and continuing to grab market share within the industry. Before we go over the Nikki, Brad, I think you have a story about how you originally met Nikki, but how did you first connect with the Alcova team and then Nikki specifically?
Yeah, so relationships are everything. I saw something on LinkedIn just the other day. Kelly Haney, part of the TMC group, was talking about relationships, and I was first introduced to Alcova through a warehouse networking friend of mine, someone I had met in the space last year as I came into SaaS sales and being new with DPR. And then that didn't go quickly or to fruition, we'll say. So the timing wasn't right. So then at TMC this past spring, I ended up meeting Kelly Good. And our friend Dan Escobar with Argyle introduced us and said, you guys should talk. You guys should know each other. And so we got to talking, and she's like, wait, you do what? And how it could help Alcova and some of the challenges they were having. And so through that process of demos and everything, I met Nikki, and she has taken this our platform and just blown it up at her institution with onboarding and making a great impact through all of their different places in the organization.
Yeah, at the Mortgage Collaborative, we really are driven to provide impact in the industry. And everyone knows that I look at a ton of technology and what I'm looking at is like, what problem are you solving? And I don't think that there's any question that there is a tremendous need. People need to know who you are because it's a problem that down payment resource uniquely solves in the industry. But Nikki, did Brad and DPR live up to the hype? What was the implementation experience like, and what kind of impact have you seen?
We laugh, but that really is a good question because, sometimes it doesn't turn out quite as well as you want it to. So no, it was absolutely met every expectation. We probably slowed them down just a little bit, frankly, because we had several other projects going on at the same time. But yeah, the implementation piece was beautiful, very easy. It probably could have been a 3-week process if we would have just had that one focus. It was interesting because DPR had started to implement a new onboarding process. And we at Alcova had been working with a gal named Liz Short at Short Solutions. So Brad actually met her as well. And she was really helping us out with our project management processes. So the two of them really lined up to be a really perfect, fluid sort of implementation. And I just think it went beautifully. It was the first project we did using our new processes, first project they did using theirs. And it really was just fantastic.
It sounds like you all wrote the roadmap to implementing DPR together. I love that. Brad, lenders are always looking to boost revenue and win more deals. And you mentioned this briefly about what the value proposition is of DPR, but what is the unique lead generation opportunity that DPR brings to the table?
Yeah, for lead gen, every lender wants to generate more business, more revenue, right? And obviously realize some margin on that. So, basically we actually turn down payment assistance into a lead gen engine where, most buyers don't realize that maybe there's help available. So when they come through one of our consumer facing tools, so Alcova has this, a loan officer has us kind of on their webpage, or they might advertise with it in unique ways or partner with realtors, et cetera. But the through marketing campaigns and the consumer comes in and they can get matched with a program they qualify for. I'd said that earlier in there, it was like match.com, right? So that's part of one of our little slogans that kind of makes sense when you think about it. But they put in their credentials or their eligibility criteria rather, and very quickly they can see what programs they might qualify for. And those types of leads are very sticky leads, we call it. So once they've seen that they might qualify for something, or that there's real money there, or that there's a loan officer that actually cares and wants to help them, they don't want to start over anywhere else. They want to stay with that person and let them help them. So we open doors for co-marketing with builders and realtors, so they can capture DPA leads. Really, they're capturing any type of lead. They're just capturing someone who's interested in purchasing a home.
Yeah.
It may be DPA, it may not be a great fit, so it could be any type of lead. But it's more than generating leads. It's also about creating stronger referral relationships as those loan officers can work with those third parties, those builders or realtors, and show them support, show them how they can position themselves uniquely in the marketplace, that they offer something unique, something different, and something that actually solves problems and helps everyone win. We want to help people win deals. And we want to also get rid of the myth with our lenders that DPA is a cost center. We want them to help realize it actually can be a revenue engine.
Can I give you a real quick, real live example of this that happened to us at Alcova? So we had a new loan officer that was getting ready to join us, and he was with another company that used DPR. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, I noticed you have the little widget on your website. What do you think of it?" He's like, "Well, I don't really know that much about it." I said, "Well, we're getting ready to roll it out, and we're going to do some really great training around it." And he loves it. He's totally bought into it. It's created realtor relationships, and he's gotten several borrowers who have come to him and said, "Gosh, I want to know more about this down payment assistance program." And I mean, came back to us weeks after we rolled it out about it really works. It truly
Yeah.
works the way you
That's
said.
awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
And it's a conversation opener. I mean, you can only talk to your referral partners about the products that you offer, your standard products, or if you have a non-QM, you can only talk about that so many times until they're like, "Oh, great, you have the same product that everybody else has." But being able to go to the table and be like, "Do you know what it'd be like for us to unlock 2,600 down payment programs?" At your fingertips so that you can help your buyers and getting into realtor for that. So very impactful. Nikki, of all of the tools and features that DPR offers, which one gets the most traction at Alcova? And on the flip side, what do you think is the most underutilized feature that other lenders might be sleeping on?
So I know this is going to surprise everybody. I think we've gotten the most traction out of our operational teams with DPR. And that's just because, they have to look in the guidelines all the time. They really have to understand the nuts and bolts of the programs. And of course, when it goes from state to state, it varies so drastically. So our operational teams have really embraced it. Underwriting loves it at our organization. I'll tell you about some Encompass features that they really love. It also has the ability to import the DPR conditions into your origination system. So that really saves the time and efficiency for our underwriting team. Um, now,
I
our
do that. That's amazing.
Isn't it cool? Yeah, it is so cool, so slick. Um, so operations has really embraced it. Now we really are working hard with our sales teams because there's massive benefit with our salespeople. Um, the Encompass functionality, if people are not using it, they are really missing out. So DPR could be embedded into the loan origination system. You can go in and pick the DPA that you're using. You can see the guidelines right from your loan origination system. And then it creates messaging and alerts as the loan moves through the system. So everybody knows that you're using a DPA, which is important, right? To processing, underwriting, closing, post-closing, right? That's a good thing. And then if your loan happens to fall out of qualification, maybe your income is increased and you no longer meet the AMI requirement, it's going to tell you that the program is no longer available. So I really feel like if you're not using Encompass or your LOS functionality and DPR, you're really missing out on a lot of really good, juicy stuff there.
Yeah, that is amazing. Brad, where was DPR when I was a lender? Come on.
I
We're
don't
going to
know.
deep.
And where is Nikki on my sales calls? Like, I don't even need to be there. I'm just gonna.
We'll make sure that we get that sound bite, and you can just like replay Nikki to everyone. I'm going to deviate just slightly. We have a couple comments. First of all, people are loving the specs there. Brad, way to rock the glasses.
Oh, the blue light
Um,
glasses.
any updates on DPA, the DPA by Freddie Mac? So
Um,
DPA1,
I don't have any updates.
I don't know either. We'll
Is
try
it
to get that
was that
question
the
answered.
question just are there any updates or what is it?
It's asking if there's any updates with so Joe asked, "Hey Brad, any updates with your DPA1 by Freddie Mac?"
I got it. So that is not ours if that's truly how you meant that. So DPA one is their platform where they can track mostly some HFA products on their site, um, maybe about a third or less of all the products that are out there. They can track those if they might work and match with Freddie's second affordability. Um, and the provider would actually update those for them. It's a free product. It's a different product than ours. It's a completely different solution than what we provide.
One other question that I want to hit, and I'm also laughing so you can read the comments. Jeremy Davis is asking why Brad's needed today. Laugh out loud. Nikki's the bomb. But Brad, can you tell in the DPR platform the difference between, like, can you get a list of down payment assistance that are grants versus gifts and not bonds, so you can tell the differentiation in the programs?
Yeah, that's one of the most powerful pieces. That we have probably track about 250 data points for any one program if they have that many. So a small nonprofit grant isn't going to have as many data points. They're very simple to turn on. They're not even a second. They're not recordable, et cetera. So we track true grants, if that makes sense. Norma, I'm sorry, whoever asked that question. Um, and then if you want to separate out municipal, county, nonprofit, solar, whatever it might be. We have all of those, and we know how they can be applied to whether it's a single family or a two, three, four unit. If they're for first generation borrowers, if they're for a repeat home buyer, we can really track just really about anything you want to track that can be used to make decisions and find opportunities.
Yeah, also from the lender's perspective, you can go in and look to see if, like you as the lender, have to submit anything in order to offer it to your borrower. So you can go through it and kind of capture some of that lower hanging fruit, and add that into your offering so there's more availability, for your borrower as the lender, which is
That
cool.
That
Yeah.
is amazing. We just did a pulse of the network for the Mortgage Collaborative, and I think Nikki, you're uniquely positioned as probably one of those who participated in that. But most of our companies are their focus is implementing technology and evaluating tech stacks, business development opportunities to grow volume and market share, and creative ways to drive more revenue and execution in cap markets. So when you think about that, what is your growth strategy and how are you positioning Alcova in the market? How critical is having down payment resource solutions and especially DPR? What is that like having that in your strategy?
And I mean, I can't even express how valuable it is to us. Again, as we try to be the most customer focused, mortgage company in the US, affordability is a huge crisis, right? We all know that. Like, maybe if they do have money, they have to put all of that money into the down payment to be able to even qualify for the home. So, if they know there's some down payment out there that they can actually tap into that doesn't require, repayment, that sort of thing. Also, just the whole technology piece. I think we all kind of know the fintech space is really moving towards using technology for all of the things that we talked about today, right? You can't really avoid it. You have to be in it. So, I mean, all of those things that you said really kind of tap into the service that DPR is offering and their solution. I mean, I just can't really recommend it enough. It's really fantastic. It's helped me out so much and it's helped our company out so much.
That's awesome. Brad, I'm going to give you 1 minute. Every lender wants to know what's on their partner's roadmap, finishing 2025 and looking ahead to 2026. So, what's on DPR's roadmap in the coming months?
Super quick and super short. We we want to improve a couple things. One of them is our consumer facing portal. So we want to give lenders some more flexibility and kind of make that consumer experience their own. So so they could have, let's make believe, maybe, they can have more what looks like their company, and their experience is right there on the screen for the consumer. And then to give some more flexibility and in some things around that. I don't want to say too much yet, but we're super excited about what that entails and what it also entails for our broker partners as well, because we do have products for them. There's also potentially an integration we're working on in a proof of concept that we are super excited about with a very large name in fintech, and we hope to be talking about that when the weather is a little warmer.
I can't wait until the unveiling. It sounds like maybe we'll know. Does that mean in Scottsdale where it's
It's possible we may know something in Scottsdale.
We can't wait for the unveiling. That's a wrap. So, a huge thank you to Down Payment Resource for sponsoring today's episode. Brad, Nikki, both that offered such thoughtful insights, and your contributions are truly appreciated. And to the listeners, thank you for tuning in. I know it's a busy time of year. Your curiosity and engagement are what keep our community moving forward. That's a wrap on the year. We'll not be back until Tuesday, January the 6th at 2 p.m. for our TMC community and 4 p.m. Eastern on LinkedIn with the broader industry. I also, to all TMC lender members and preferred partners, you only have 6 days. No, yes, 6 days to take advantage of early bird pricing for Desert Disruption in Scottsdale, February 22nd through the 24th. If you're not a member, you need to call me. TMC provides enormous return on investment for a very small contribution. And we basically pay lenders to become members. And if you want to figure out how that works, just call me to find out. So thank you all for an amazing year. Happy holidays, happy new year, and cheers. We'll see you next year on the SIP.
Thank you. Thanks, Jody.
Thank you. Take
Thank you
care.
so much, Nikki.